So there's this whole like side of veganism online thing that's going on right now, where there are these vegans that are going from eating vegan to eating meat because they believe for health reasons they have to. There's this whole movement right now, and they're just like more and more of them are coming out and just saying that they felt the same or that they had to, and not a single one of them has had any scientific evidence or proof that the vegan diet has done them in wrong or that it's, not nutritionally adequate. The World Health Organization actually states that the vegan diet is adequate for all stages of life, like infancy through elderly. So I'm not really concerned about my diet. I know for myself, I've just been feeling better and better. So it's something that takes time, and there are a lot of people, specifically Kalel, that I wanted to talk about today. But she was a junk food vegan, and she expected to feel good from that. I know she had tried quite a few different diets, and she was on some health kicks for a little while, but she never stuck with them for more than it seemed like a month, maybe, or two. I'm not sure, but she doesn't really post a lot about that information. The majority of what she has online is her eating vegan cinnamon rolls and just like vegan junk food, fast food, a lot of cheesy, like just really, things that wouldn't necessarily be very healthy on any diet, no matter what it is. And eating processed foods in general is not really something natural. And I wouldn't expect myself to feel good off of eating those things either. So I'm not really sure exactly why she's trying to blame the vegan diet when she has no proof, no evidence. She was just going off of like Google searches on diagnosing herself. And a lot of these other people too. I was following Vegetable Police for a long time, and until he went and started eating meat again. And he had a very severe stomach disorder, if I remember, and he never saw any specialists about it. He never tried to treat it. He went through a lot of diets too. It's similar. He tried all these different, vegan diets and extreme different ways of eating. He was fasting a lot. He tried turpentine, and just all of these things really weren't making him feel better. And I'm not surprised, but I would like to see the people that are calling out the vegan diet or saying that it's not something that's, adequate or healthy. I would like to see their proof that they have, or any scientific evidence that shows that they, that they had to eat meat. Because I know Kalel, she was saying that was her worst fear, was having a doctor tell her she had to eat meat. But and she does claim that she's seen a specialist in their field, or someone who's very reputable. But at the same time, why doesn't she try seeing a vegan doctor or somebody? I mean, it's really, really seems counterintuitive. She's not really stating why she's not okay with supplements. She just says she doesn't want to take supplements. And I don't understand, even if she were eating a standard American diet, they would do the same thing. They would prescribe them supplements. They wouldn't say like, you have to eat meat or something. It's just really silly to think that she has to eat meat to get what she needs, because I was eating meat and I was low iron and they just gave me some pills, like it would be the same if I were vegan. They would hand me some pills for iron. But then again, I would much rather get it from natural plant sources or fruit or vegetable sources, or a vegan source. You can get every nutrient you need from a vegan source. It's just about where you source it from and how you absorb it too, because if you consider iron, there's heme and non-heme iron, and you don't absorb it the same. If you're taking in non-heme iron, which is from, there's plant iron. So non-heme iron is animal iron, and if you're taking that, your body can't adjust how much it absorbs. It just like continues to absorb it, and you can actually get too much iron very easily from that. So I'd much rather get a plant source of iron, and that's how I get my iron. And I have been I haven't been low since I've been vegan, but I have been borderline. And it was recommended that I supplemented, and so there's actually an iron source called Fluoridix or Fluoridix, something like that. Um, and you can find that in stores. You do have to keep it refrigerated, but all it is there's like, it's cherry juice and pear juice with like some greens mixed in, and I mean, you can just do that at home. But if you really are concerned about it, you can drink like, it's maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon of this a day, and you can raise your levels that way, and it's really easy. So I don't understand the need for eating meat. It just doesn't seem necessary at all to me. But and it's honestly, it's kind of giving the vegan diet a bad name. She's not using any science here. She's just claiming that, you know, that the diet messed her up, or I think she even states that she was feeling bad before the vegan diet. And since then, she's gone through a round of Accutane, which is very damaging to the liver. And she's gotten something like 10 plastic surgeries and breast implants. So I really would not think to, I mean, that seems like the last thing, the vegan diet, that, you know, could be on the list to blame for why she's been feeling bad. But there's also a girl, her name is Karissa Pukkas, and she has what she said is breast implant illness. And there are a number of women coming out about that are, you know, that have had symptoms, and the doctors, it's not really a doctor or medically acknowledged condition, but there are more and more women coming out about these conditions, and just the way that they're feeling is, it really is closely comparing to Kalel's symptoms, and I think she should really look into that, because that could be why she's feeling so bad. There could be a number of reasons. Obviously, like if she has nutritional deficiencies, she should be supplementing, or, you know, I honestly, I would look into just eating more of that in a natural diet, because that's going to absorb better. If you're taking a supplement, it's just going to like go through your system, and most of it doesn't absorb anyways. So if I had to take a supplement, I would be taking, you know, I would try to be taking vegan ones, and or just eating the foods. But yeah, her symptoms match up very, very closely with the Karissa Pukkas girl. They have almost identical symptoms, and she goes through the surgery, getting the implants, feeling sick, and then having them removed, and having the majority, if not all of her symptoms are improved. About half of them are completely gone after removing the implants. So it's really, really hard to deny that was what was causing it. And she still is also vegan. She eats a very, very healthy diet, and she's been feeling better. I think that's what really, really matters in this situation. And if Kalel does actually want to find a solution or get to the bottom of what's causing her issues, she really, really, I really hope she looks into that. But it could be more than just that. It sounds like she's battling some candida issues also. So with that, she probably should be doing a more extreme diet, just a very healthy, low fat, high carb, vegan diet. That's how I healed my own candida. And I really think that she could benefit from something like that. It seems like she's being quick to blame the diet, and it's probably for her own, you know, her own needs. Maybe she just wanted to eat meat, because I know that, you know, as a vegan, I do get cravings for meat, and then if those cravings get like to where I'm just really hungry, or if they get really bad, then I just go and eat a vegan. Like, there are so many vegan animal products, plant-based meat products, that I can't, like, I just, knowing what I know now, and feeling bad for the animals and caring about the animals, I could never go and eat a piece of meat unless it was like snuck into my food. And even then, that has happened, and it was pretty gross. Like, I don't really see animals as food anymore. There was one year, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, that I took home some turkey leftovers from Thanksgiving with my family, and I fed it to the dogs. It was like the scraps or something, but the smell was so repulsive to me. And it's funny, because before I used to like the smell of turkey, but it smelled like wet dog. Like, it had this, like, and the grossest thing was it wouldn't wash out. It was a glass dish that I had that I washed out. I used dish soap on it, and I scrubbed it, and I washed it, and you could not see a single like molecule of stuff on it, but it stunk like wet dog for probably like half a year. It was the grossest thing ever. And I think that I was like just not sensitive. I didn't notice those sorts of smells before. I wasn't used to that stuff anymore, or before. I was just kind of desensitized to it. But now realizing how gross that stuff is, it's just, I would never want that stuff on my countertop or in my pots or pans or anything ever again. And also, even that the chicken, I guess raw chicken itself has so much bacteria and just certain like things, like it's something like 10% of all meat has MRSA on it, the bacteria that can't be killed with antibacterials. And it's just everywhere. And apparently you can't bleach that stuff off. So maybe that's what was in the turkey. I don't know, but it's just so gross to me now, and it doesn't really seem like food anymore. But I'm not really sure how Kalel feels about all that, but I know that she did care about the animals, and it was, it did mean something to her at one point in time. And I understand that she is, this might feel like life or death to her, and that she, obviously she's coming from a very extreme place of feeling bad and needing to do something about her condition. And I would encourage her to look further, because if anything, I think she would be feeling worse from eating meat and eggs and just all that stuff. It's not going to be the solution. It's got a lot of cholesterol and bacteria and inflammation and just all sorts of things that aren't really. It might be high in minerals, especially like organ meat and stuff. She might be getting a lot of minerals from something like that, but it's not going to be what makes her feel the best. And I know if she's as in tuned as she says she is to her body, then she's going to notice the difference.